Hi everybody, um, welcome to my, what is this? New beginning. It is a beginning. It's something I wanted to do for a long time. Primarily a vlog um, where I can check in on a weekly, possibly more basis and record what I'm going through. As the title suggests, Men Don't Talk. This is about men talking. We've talked for years, me and friends, about doing a podcast that would be about, you know, mental health, art, creativity, health, well-being, etc., and getting people on. And I know podcasts these days are like the kind of the school band equivalent of yesteryear. You know, when everybody gets together and talks about a band they're going to start, and today a podcast. So this is my podcast, Men Don't Talk. As you'll find out in the next video that's just about to come up, which is the one I recorded about 2 weeks ago, talking about what I've been going through. I looked back at that this morning and I can see the denial all over my face. I crashed 3 days after filming that. I got very, very ill. I was in bed for 3 days. I was on Zopiclone, a sleeping tablet. Then the doctor tried to put me on metrazapine, this antidepressant that wired me to the moon, and I fought that. But I'm back now, health-wise anyway. I'm getting there. Starting to get my sleep and my eating back. But anyway, this is the video. I'm just going to play it as it was, and I'm going to try and check in. And this weekly or bi-weekly or whenever, I don't know, I'm going to try and keep it up, recording what's going on for me, what I'm trying, tools that I'm using, books that I'm reading, films that I'm watching maybe, to help me through this period of my life. And I hope that it will be cathartic, it'll be a laugh, that people will get involved and we can chat and it will grow. But if not, it will be a very good way of me documenting the process. And just to explain the title, Men Don't Talk, I've been accused of, although I'm very communicative and chatty, and I thought that I talked, but I haven't been talking about the things that really matter. And I've realised there's a pattern for men in particular, especially, I don't know, men from working class communities in Scotland. I would say in particular that you just don't plough on, just keep going. Talk about everything but the jugular issues, the soft underbelly issues, you know, the issues that cause us anxiety, stress, yeah, those kind of things. So anyway, here it is. Here's the video. I'll see you next time. Going on, and I know that this smacks of midlife crisis. Okay, I know that, and it is a midlife crisis. So I'm going to share my midlife crisis with you, and I'm going to be very honest. So where I am right now, at the age of 45, is and at the end of another long-term relationship, which kind of took me by surprise. It wasn't something I saw coming. It wasn't something I expected. It wasn't part of my life plan. And I am in a process of healing from that. I'm in a much better place now than I was kind of 5 weeks ago or so, 6 weeks ago when it happened. And I am doing all the right things to adjust to that, to see the gift in it. I'm reading books. I am, I used to be really into personal development and growth. I did a lot of personal development work in my kind of mid to late 20s, early 20s. And I loved it.
And then I suppose really when I kind of met my wife, I gave up on all that kind of stuff. I just fell in love, and that's something that we do. That we just kind of immerse ourselves into somebody else. They complete you in ways that you never expected, and that's a good process. It's a natural process. But I've definitely taken my eye off the ball personally. I mean, for example, I did 2 years of Ashtanga yoga that I absolutely loved. And when I met my wife, I just went clean out the window. And we've been together for 15 years. We've got 2 boys, beautiful boys together, and have had an amazing relationship. So I've got to look at all that positivity and embrace it and be grateful for it, because some people go through their whole life and never get that. So where I am now is that I am opening myself to the world, to the universe, and I'm going, right, what's next? So the kind of things that I'm doing, I want to talk about and share with you. So I'm meditating every morning, which I've wanted to do. So many friends have said, you should meditate. And I'm like, yeah, I should meditate. And, I downloaded the Headspace app over a year and a half ago, and I'd probably done, I don't know, maybe 10 days. Whereas since, I don't know, the last few weeks, I've checked in almost daily. And it's been brilliant. And I've made it so one of the books I read, Sherry Hoover's book, Unconditional Self-Acceptance, she talks about meditation being like brushing your teeth. And that if you don't, brush your teeth, you feel it, you can tell, and it feels odd. So you would never go a day without brushing your teeth. So that's what I'm trying to get meditation to be like, so that if I don't do it, I feel it. And I do feel it now. I feel it if I don't find that time. Just kind of 10 minutes. I think maybe the longest I've done is 15. But then I do some yoga and some stretching, and I do some of Wim Hof's breathing as well. And so that's been really helping. And then the other thing I've been doing some Buddhist chanting with a pal and loving that. I've kind of been interested in Buddhism over the years. The more I've heard about it, I thought, God, I like that. I still resist the overly religious maybe elements of it, but I don't fully understand it yet. So I'm just reading into it now. But some of the principles are hard to argue with and deny. They're just, great kind of life principles and values. So I'm doing that, the Buddhist chanting. I haven't done it on my own yet for whatever reasons. I don't feel comfortable doing it on my own. So I've been doing it with my pal and enjoying it. I get a lot out of it. It's like a dynamic form of meditation. And I went to I did it with a friend of my pal as well, who was a complete stranger. Met up with him and we Buddhist chanted for half an hour. And I had a good chat. And I went to a meeting last night too. So I'm doing that. I'm exercising, working out. I mean, ironically, I had taken charge of that side of my life before the shit hit the fan. So I'm feeling very good physically. I've lost 2 stone. I'm back to the kind of weight I was when I was 25. So I'm feeling good in that respect, but emotionally and spiritually, I'm trying to take really good care of myself. I'm in therapy, so that's something else I've resisted for a long time. People have said, and my wife said you should do therapy a long time ago, and I was like, yeah, I should, but I resisted it. Because I was afraid. I'm not particularly keen on, I haven't been particularly keen on delving into my childhood past. It was traumatic enough the first time. And I kind of thought I had done a lot of that work, with all the growth kind of stuff I did. And it's not like I haven't stopped growing. I still read, books about growth and personal development, but I haven't taken the kind of action that you should be taking, consistently. And so, yeah, that is, I'm in it. I'm reconnecting with that part of myself, and I'm enjoying that. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't trying to, heal a wound as well. So the therapy, which I'm really enjoying and getting a lot out of, after the first initial couple of weird kind of feeling like this is very clinical and, I'm into it now and I'm settled. I understand the kind of parameters and I free flow and talk and things come up that I never expected, and I've had some amazing insights, which I'm going to share with you as we go through this process. Because this is what I hope this is going to be is like a great diary for me. I hope it'll be useful for people in relationships, because I've learned some things about relationships in my life. I've learned some things about, behaviour and about growth that I think could be useful. I can, I want to talk about diet and about health and spirituality and all that kind of stuff, and creativity and art. So I want this to be a place for people to come and for us to engage in a conversation, because I'm sure that I'm going to say things that are going to spark some conversation, But yes, so I'll tell you basically what has happened. So after being in a relationship for 15 years, married for 13, most of that time joyful and happy, there was over the last maybe 2 years a distance that grew between me and my wife. Now, for me, that distance was, I've checked in more with what that was now, but at the time it just felt like natural kind of relationship ebb and flow, because it's not like there's been a cold hard distance. We've had absolutely amazing times over the last couple of years. In fact, over the last matter of months. So for me, it felt like a natural just up and down that all relationships go through. But for her, it was more of a very gradual shifting, apart. And so, I bounced through the door a matter of weeks ago, high as a kite, feeling great about myself, having come out of what I would say maybe was a kind of low-level depression, maybe 6 months ago or so, that I'd been in for maybe a year or 2 years. I'd had some injuries. I was physically not feeling great. My career was not, doing the kind of things I wanted it to do. And so I was coasting, in a way that I was coasting, basically. And happy, content. I'm very lucky. I live in a nice place. I've got good pals, a gorgeous wife, 2 beautiful boys, 2 older beautiful boys. So much to be absolutely grateful for. That's why I call it low level, because I never felt I could be, I couldn't call it depression. It was just a kind of malaise, But I think that must have been a difficult thing to be in a relationship with. But again, it's natural. I think individuals go through that, couples go through it. And so when I say it was a shock a few weeks ago when my wife sat me down, and I had bounced through the door, having been at the gym that morning, feeling great. She'd been away for the weekend, on a kind of girls' weekend. It was a friend's birthday, and she came back. We had a great time, talked about the weekend. She went to therapy the next